The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
As a small biz grower, so we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz grower, so we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Ooh, yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And today, Crystal, what do we have on the show today? What are you going to talk about?
Oh, we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Well, we got a great guest today. You know, last month we had no guests. You were in class session with Crystal and Gilbert.
And you know, I love when we do class sessions.
I know, that was cool.
Yeah, we cover so many topics, and it's amazing.
Yeah, so this month we're going to have some guests, though, because, you know,
just so you
holidays.
know, I had a friend of mine call me from Vegas 2 days ago and requested one of our shows, the one we did on KYP, Knowing Your Personnel.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Oh, look at that.
He said, I've heard about this show that you guys did on Knowing Your Personnel, personality profiles for in business, and I just would like to know what date that show was, and I want to check it out.
Okay, cool.
So
in fact, I think I had already uploaded that show to our channel.
Oh, yes.
So, cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. People are listening.
People are paying attention to the Business Zone.
That is cool. They should be, because we are a cool show.
That's right. We provide good information.
We really, really do. So we're in the month of December.
Yes.
I hope everyone had a great Thanksgiving. I did. Got a lot of rest. I don't know if I picked up a little bug or I ate something that didn't quite suit me, but for one day there, I was, what day was it? Friday?
Wow.
I had, I think I was a little sick on Friday night, but I was back up on Saturday, so it was like a short
Well, you're
thing.
like Superwoman anyway. You're like Superwoman, man. Nothing keeps you down.
I went down for like 3 hours and back up Friday, Saturday morning.
Nothing keeps you down. December is my month. You know, that's the month of my birthday.
Oh, cool.
So for the whole month of December, I am celebrating.
All right.
This is
Jackie's birthday's in December as well.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm. She's having a taco night on the 17th.
So it's Gilbert Buchanan and Jackie B's month.
All right.
Month of December.
Cool. Well, we will make sure you celebrate and we take care of you for this month. But it's also Christmas.
It's also Christmas.
Also the holidays.
Hey, Ortiz.
So everybody's geared up for the holidays. My tennis program, Hey Will, one of my coaches is online with us.
Very good.
We're having our holiday Christmas party for the kids on the 14th.
Love it.
So we serve about 400 and something kids. Last year we had 420 something kids. Yeah. So we give them gifts and they learn to play tennis and there's food and clothing. And so it should be a lot of fun. Right. So we're looking forward to that. It's the holidays, so everybody got parties going on.
There's a lot of party. And one of the things I want to share with small businesses, use these parties that you're going to during the month of December to network, to make connections for January. Because what you really want to do is you want to start building that relationship. So come January, they have an idea of what your business does, and they may want to do business with you. So don't just go there to party and drink and have a good time.
Yeah, before you get drunk, go do some networking and grab some cards.
Some networking.
Yeah, because everybody should right now be in that mode to be getting ready to, their January should already be in place.
That's right.
And then, January, first quarter already should be mapped out in your head. And if not, I suggest vision boards and affirmations and doing your plan. Like right now, next year, I'm launching my e-courses starting January 5th.
Me
so
too.
right off the bat, that's my new venture.
Yes.
I've been putting some energy into that.
Oh yeah.
But use this time to be ready for next year. Yeah. Because it's going to be an interesting year next year.
It's going to be an interesting year.
This year has been kind of, stressful. Yeah. And then we got elections next year and just a whole lot of stuff. I would say people, and that's what I've been talking about, is closing that wealth gap, or at least closing your personal wealth gap. So start looking for multiple streams of way you can make money, because your one way is not going to be enough, basically. So you just need to start putting your thinking cap on and thinking three-dimensional.
Three-dimensional.
So figure out how you can make money solving problems and filling niches that are not there.
And just so many of you know, many of my small biz pros out there, just so you know, I've been posting contract opportunities to my Facebook site. So if you guys want a contract opportunity, you want to tap into that, just go to my Facebook. And when you go there, you will see them listed. I try to do it every week. So
Look
that's
at you.
Oh yeah,
getting all active on Facebook now.
I am learning from the master here. I'm learning from you.
It was a slow coming, but
look at you. It was a slow process.
You
see, a lot of my clients are making requests. They're going, hey, you know, I want contract opportunities. I want training. I want these webinars.
There you go. I said, okay, gotta listen to your customers. You gotta listen to your clients, right? So cool.
So I've been posting contract opportunities on my site. And I mean on Facebook. So, and if you guys really want some coaching on this, you contact me, let me know, and I'll guide you on how to apply for these contracts, how to get yourself ready for these contracts. Because like Crystal say, you got to close the wealth gap. And how do you close that? Well, you either inherited some money, you get a quick deal on Shark Tank, or you get awarded a government contract. So you want to look at all three of those and see which one is most feasible. I think the government contract route is going to be the most feasible for you.
I think so. And I think also utilizing every night. You know, I was telling you, I've been teaching a class called 60 Days to Bankable. It's a class that, or a series, web series, workshop series that's at Urban League and sponsored by AARP.
Oh, wow.
And so that's what we talked about is how do you, hey, Linda, hey, Margot, how do you don't just have one service.
No.
Or one product.
Right.
You know, use all your talents and figure out how you can make money from every talent, every hobby, anything, interest that you have. Figure out how you can make some money from it. So
hey, Joe, welcome to the Business Zone.
You have that going on. This week I also had an opportunity. It's through Miss Carolyn Hines. I was sitting on a breakfast advisory breakfast.
I wanted to congratulate you on that. I was on Facebook today and I saw this big certificate of recognition for Crystal Mitchell.
Right.
So, much respect.
Thank
you.
You
deserve that.
So I was, it was me and anybody know Robin Billups? You know, she big out there.
Yes.
And Jerry Foster, who is a marketing guru, and Lonzo Williams, who is the, he was the founder of the rap guys, Eazy-E.
Yes.
So we were all there talking to the young adults about how to, about being an entrepreneur, taking their trades and actually creating a business out of that. It was awesome. And Carolyn has this, her cousin is this amazing barber and she does the barbering for the stars. So she took the cosmetology students out.
Very good.
So it was awesome. We were there all day and we just shared wisdom and knowledge with them and they really were there. Well,
you know me, whenever there's something good going on for you, I'm there for you. I got to support you. And, you know, when I saw it, my eyes lit up. I'm going, whoa, this is Krista. This is my co-host. She's getting recognized.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That was nice. That was nice.
So before we bring up our guest, hey, Greg, before we bring our guest, because it's the holiday season, I thought, and then LaRon can put the picture up that I just sent over to him.
Yeah.
That we should talk about what one should get for an entrepreneur for their Christmas or their birthday.
That's a very...
Just depends on what...
Speaking of that, Joe Razan, happy belated birthday. I know your birthday was a few days ago, and you were what, 40?
Yeah.
40, right, Joe?
Joe 40. Yeah. So, happy birthday, Joe.
Happy birthday, Joe. So as
an entrepreneur, I went to do some digging because, we could use everything as an entrepreneur, But there's some pretty unique new gadgets out there. So one of them that I saw was, and LaRon, can you put the picture up when you get a chance? One of them was this, because here's the thing I know about us entrepreneurs. Yes. We don't take care of ourselves the way we're supposed to, right?
That is true. We're all guilty of that.
We're all guilty. We're all sitting at our computers or whatever, and we're just like glued to it, but we don't take time out to go do. Okay. So the one at the top is a Hydro Smart bottle.
Oh, wow.
It's a Bluetooth beverage. It's the baller of water bottles, and it's a Bluetooth beverage solution. So what you get to do is it has a Bluetooth speaker, radio, a charging station for your phone, party lights, and a bottle opener, and it holds water.
Really?
Yeah. Now that would be a great gift, huh?
Multifaceted, multi-purpose.
So it's $59.99 at hydrosmartbottle.com.
Oh, wow.
The next
entrepreneurs can go and check that out.
You can go check that out, or your loved ones that are looking for that perfect gift for their entrepreneur, right? Okay. For your entrepreneur and your family. Yes. The next one is a portable scanner.
Oh, wow.
How many times you go somewhere and you're out there and there's no copier?
That is neat.
So you can get a portable scanner for like $40, $50, $60.
Really?
Yeah, so that's a good little gift there.
I should team up with those guys so they can offer it in Small Biz Pro.
Right.
So it can work together.
So here you can scan any document. It's $53.99 at Best Buy.
Very nice.
So there you go, guys.
I'll check it
out.
out.
Now this one is, and you can go to any of your your phone carriers and a wireless hotspot. Mm-hmm. I have a wireless hotspot, and even though
is that the hotspot right there?
So every mine is with AT&T, but Verizon has one. Everyone has one. It's worth the money, because a lot of times, like even when I'm over at the Urban League, and most corporations, their IT departments have stuff locked down, right? So when you go to teach and you want to show, especially if you're at a school or educational facility or a bank, you can't really you can't access their Wi-Fi, or if you do, they have limited Wi-Fi, right? So, but as educators and trainers and coaches, our stuff might not fall in the realm of it, whatever. Not to say that we're looking at anything that nobody would look at, but however, my Wi-Fi, my hotspot I've had it for like the last 4 or 5 years, and it's been awesome.
So how much does this cost?
So I got my hotspot as part of a package deal with AT&T, and I think I paid $1 for mine.
Really?
So if you get a new phone, you might want to look at that. But some of them, they range from $20 up to $300 or $400, just depending on what you're looking for. Right. Okay, so that's next one. Now this one, I don't care whether you got any of the phone apps for taking money, which is excellent. Everyone should have the Zelle. You should have Cash App.
Pay.
I have a QuickBooks on the go payment, because you don't want to ever leave money on the table. That's right. You don't want somebody to say, I'm going to put a check in the mail for you.
Collect your money.
Next time I see you, you want to get your money right then and there while they've bought into everything that you're talking about, right? And if not, then you can go get a Square or basically a check card reader.
Okay. How much is that one?
So, and you can get now, like QuickBooks, actually there's an app that is called Go Payment, which actually coincides with your online QuickBooks service. Oh, wow. And so if you take money, I have now currently.
So if you go to an event, for example, you can take money there.
Transactions, right? And so with QuickBooks, and then it goes right into your accounting system, so you don't even have to track it that way, right? So that might be something you might want to do. But there's a Square. There's so many of them out there.
There's a lot,
and they're usually free if you're signing up. And if you're paying for a Square, somebody told me the other day they paid $79 for a Square. I thought that was ridiculous.
Wow.
Go to Square, go to their sites, www.square.com.
They probably purchased it through a broker.
Probably, and they didn't know it. So you can go to those actual sites to the site for GoPay QuickBooks sites, and you can actually get a one for free. Right. And then they get paid by the transaction fees. Right. But I tell you, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to pay for that. Yeah, you kind of do, because if you
small businesses, they have to start investing in their business.
Right, they do. You have to. So for this week, those are the 5 gifts.
Those are great items. I'm gonna check out a few of those.
Yeah. So next week I'll have some more, but there's some great ones out there. But if you can't figure out what to get your your entrepreneur,
your loved one or your entrepreneurial associates.
Yeah, then right, and for gifts, if you have someone, your friend is an entrepreneur, that's what they all of them could use that, and I can get That's but great. I love that water bottle thing. I might get that.
I wish we had talked about this earlier. Well, not earlier, but sooner, like months ago, so we could reach out to some of those companies, have them sponsor the show.
Oh, that would be nice.
You see what I'm saying?
We'll work
and then we could give it away.
Yeah.
So
we can make. We'll see.
Let's make some calls on Monday.
Okay. Now here's one that I ran across is the official, and I saw this I think on Facebook. It's an official triple screen on the go touch monitor. So, and I don't have a picture of it, but I can show you what it looks like. So what it is you attach these screens to the sides of your laptop, and now you can be bigger, or you can actually use other documents. Like with QuickBooks, I got the source document. I can put it over here, and then I can, and if I'm doing blogging, I can design and resize over here. But here's my main, so it gives you more space.
I like that.
Right? And it's easier to work when you have multiple. Happy birthday. I mean, happy Christmas to you, or happy holidays to you too, Bobby. So that's a good gift, right? So that one right now is on sale at it's a Black Friday sale for $39.98. I'm gonna pick that up myself.
I thought it was gonna be in the hundreds.
Started out because it's Black Friday sale. It started at $124. It's still worth it, but it's for $39.98, and you can go to the official triple screen on the go touchscreen monitor. I'll put all of these in the description of our show today.
That sounds very good. Crystal, before we go to break, I just want to say this. Unfortunately, I received some bad news yesterday or the day before yesterday. You remember when I used to go to Vegas to do those classes? I was hired by a gentleman. He brought me in to have my company teach contract readiness and procurement to the Nevada Contractors Association members. And we did a great program there. Small businesses, they got certified, they get contracts. And I got a call yesterday that he died.
Oh, my God.
He was a very young person, younger than me.
Wow.
And he died of heart attack. They said multiple heart attacks. So I just wanted to, say condolence to the family of Dan O'Shea from the Nevada Contractors Association in Las Vegas. I really, really, feel badly for your loss. This guy's been great. He was in the union as well. So together we would work with the casinos in Vegas, try to get opportunities for the small businesses. Hi, Andre. Hi, nephew.
That's pretty sad. Well, and then what that says is if you're, right now, as hard as we are working, we also put the same time and energy into taking care of ourselves. I think it's really, really important.
Yes, we got to do that. So I just wanted to put that out there to let small businesses know that, yes, we're working hard for our clients and working hard for other small businesses, but we got to start taking care of ourselves. And I gotta take my own advice too. I got to take care of myself much better. So, I can be around to help more small businesses.
Right, exactly. That's why I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning and go work out and do my Zumba classes and all that sort of stuff, because it's important. You got to take care of self. You can't do it outside. You can't do it if you're ill.
Yeah.
And even when you're not feeling well, you're just not operating at your highest potential, right? You're at your optimum. Right. So, everyone should take care of themselves. That's a lot of young people of late are suffering from all kinds of cancer and
things
heart
just
attacks.
happen just like that, and you're going, wow, this person. I just talked to this person today. What happened?
Yeah.
So I just want to put that out there and show my respects for Dan O'Shea and his family. And we're going to go ahead and take a break right now. We have a special guest in the studios. Her name is Jean Perry, and this is an amazing woman. Wait until you get to listen to her when she gets back. So we're going to go ahead and take a quick break, Crystal.
Alrighty.
For those of you who are just tuning in, you are watching and listening to The Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. Take a break.
Small businesses spend more than $500 million each year combined trying to find missing or replace missing paperwork. Hey small businesses, are you tired of losing out on business opportunities because your paperwork is not in order? And don't you hate having to register in multiple websites just to find a single procurement opportunity that may not even be worth your time? Well, worry no more. Small Biz Pro is the solution to your problems. Small Biz Pro is an all-in-one cloud-based business management, compliance, and procurement assistance software platform that keeps small businesses organized, contract-ready, bank loan-ready, with quick access to procurement opportunities, as well as market research data. Here are some of the features and benefits that you receive when you use Small Biz Pro to run your business daily. Superior record keeping at your fingertips, back office management and compliance, quick access to bids and procurement.
So we're back on The Business Zone with
Crystal
and Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And Crystal, who do we have in the studios with us today?
We have Miss Jean Perry. She's a former journalist. Actually, she still is a journalist. And a retired elementary school teacher. She was the general assignment reporter and feature writer for health and fitness section of the New York Daily News for 13 years. She taught grade schools from pre-K through grade 5 for LA Unified for 25 years. And she's currently in her new second act, or third act in her case, because this is the third act. She is currently interviewing entrepreneurs for her new website called JeanPerryWrites.com. And it's Jean Perry Writes and Entrepreneurs Speak. You can follow her on Facebook, and she's got some new stuff coming up. She got some books coming up. She's got her blog going on. So we have the honor to have her on the show today, and welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to The Business Zone, Miss Jean.
Glad
Perry.
to have you,
right.
Miss Perry.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. So I would like to know how you go from a journalist to a elementary school teacher.
Well, way back when I was in high school, I wanted to be a dancer. And in fact, got a scholarship to Martha Graham School of Contemporary Dance.
Okay.
When I informed my mother of my decision, she said, look, we all know you can shake your booty. Can't you do something else?
You can make some money at, because they didn't think that dancing was something you could make some money at.
Exactly.
Right?
They wanted me to be happy, but also to earn an income.
Right. Exactly.
And a friend of mine said that her father, who worked at the New York Times, told her that jobs would be opening in communications. And I said, okay, well, if my mom doesn't want me to do dance, and I was a people pleaser even then, my next love is writing. My father, with 3 Jewish partners, had a business in Manhattan's garment district.
Okay.
So I was used to going into the store on Saturday with him. They sold millinery supplies.
Okay.
And I'd also worked at Macy's and Bloomingdale's part-time. So I thought, well, okay, I want to write. I know a little bit about the fashion industry, Fashion Institute of Technology,
Okay.
also known as FIT, F-I-T. And when I found that they had a communications program, that was the one for me. So that was my initial introduction to journalism.
Okay. Fantastic.
Well, it's amazing because I do have a degree in communication as well.
Oh, I didn't know.
It's a small one. It's only an associate.
A small one.
It's a small one.
I didn't know they had small, medium, large degrees.
It's a small degree. It's only an associate's degree in communication. So that's where I got my broadcasting background from. And we did a lot of commercials, and it was just amazing. I loved it.
Okay, well, so that's real interesting to me because the civil rights movement was going on at the time. I got my associate in applied science. And every day, remember, this is in Manhattan, so I read not only the New York Daily News, but the New York Post and New York Times. And the civil rights movement was on the front page of every newspaper and was prominent in every TV and radio show at the time. And we all in my generation wanted to do more. So at that point, I said, okay, it's nice to write about fashion, but can I do more? And I looked around for a 4-year journalism program. NYU was convenient, NYU, New York University. I applied, I was accepted, and I said, gee, if I could just get them to accept all my credits from FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, I can go into NYU as a junior and finish my bachelor's in 2 years.
Exactly.
And did they?
Well, things don't always go as we plan.
Of course not.
So we have to be ready.
Yeah.
And there was some concern over how many credits they would
That's
accept.
exactly what happened to me.
And at that point, my father, I think, was the example in speaking up for yourself. Just see what'll happen.
Yeah.
Better to speak
Than
and
not
be
to.
told no than not to try.
Right.
So I said, I will make an appointment with the head of the journalism department.
Yes.
And I put my makeup on and, went in there and just kind of told him my story.
Yeah.
Now, I grew up in Harlem and what that was all about and how I came to want to write and my first composition in the 5th grade and my first poem in 4th grade, etc.
Right.
And by the end of that conference, I don't know what he did.
Right.
What I do know is that New York University accepted all my credits.
Oh, awesome. It's good to have contacts in high places.
Yes. So I entered as a junior, and in 2 years I had a Bachelor of Science degree, major in journalism, minor in education.
Right.
That's
phenomenal.
Amazing. Wonderful story. I'm from New York as well, but upstate, and would have loved to have been born.
We're kind of neighbors. I'm from Binghamton. She's from Buffalo.
Oh, we're
so
all
she's like
New Yorkers.
She's like 300 miles away from me, right?
yeah. Upstate, very cold. Mine was very cold.
And you were from the Bronx or Brooklyn?
Born and raised in Harlem.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's about
East
another.
Harlem.
That's about another 200 miles from Binghamton. Yes.
And you were right in the seat of civil rights because Harlem, the Renaissance, everything came out of New York.
It really did. It was fortunate to be in a place where I could go to Schomburg Library from very young, George Bruce Library on 135th Street. I would leave school because I would take the bus to school. And this is when I was probably about 8 or 9. No, about 9. I would go to the library, and they had a beautiful children's room. And George Bruce is still there, so if you ever get a chance to go to the children's room, it's lovely, and they had a huge collection.
Right.
So what happened, I just want to backtrack a little bit to working in journalism, right? Because that was your question. So having been a reporter, I want to be sure I answer your question.
Okay.
So I'm a senior at NYU, ready to graduate, but I have no job.
And that's the other side to
communication. That's the other side of it. Now you've done all the background work, but how are you going to manifest what you want to do?
Yes.
So I've always been kind of intuitive. I like to listen to myself. And this particular day, something said, just go by the bulletin board. I'd been by the bulletin board for months looking for an opening, and there was nothing there.
Right.
That day that I went, they advertised a cocktail party given by a newspaper women's association. And I said, that's it, I'm going.
Yeah.
So I was very nervous, and I walked into a room. There were no other black women there, but there was a bar. So I went over and got my glass of white wine and downed it pretty quickly. And I just saw a group of women kind of in a circle. And I said, oh, excuse me, do you mind if I join in your conversation? White wine talking.
The liquid courage.
Fortunately, there was a woman there from New York Daily News, and she said, you know, we've just started an experimental paid internship program.
Awesome.
You will come and work for 9 months, and if you graduate the program, you have a job.
Wow.
She said, and I think you are what we're looking for.
Excellent.
Her name was Christina Kirk. She later, after the news, went to the Star, and she said, call me during the week. I guess the party was on maybe a Thursday or Friday. So sure enough, I called. She got me an appointment with the head of personnel. I went and interviewed. I was accepted into the program. And although it was 9 months, in 5 months, they made their decision.
Wow.
And
awesome.
I went in there as a general assignment reporter.
That is beautiful.
Wow,
That's amazing.
fantastic.
That is amazing.
And that was for the New York Daily News.
Right, right. And
Awesome.
unfortunately, today you don't find that many paid internships
No, you don't. You don't.
that will lead to employment. So
Right.
I just came along at the right time.
That's great. So when did you move to Los Angeles, and did you stay in journalism?
Well, after years of being in journalism, I wanted to do something else. And also, newspapers had started, unfortunately, to fade, and digital media was coming in, and reporters were losing their jobs. So my next love after the writing and teaching, being single, not having children of my own, I said, I think I'd like to work with children. And I went to Teachers College at Columbia University. Was not as fortunate as I was at NYU, where I had scholarships. So, but because I had a work background, I had been saving. I was taught to be a saver from very young. And so I paid my way through. 2-year program. I was able to finish it in 18 months.
Oh, wow.
But again, I didn't have a job. So I kind of went inside and settled and listened to my intuition. And it said, check out the bulletin boards.
Again.
As I did at NYU, I had been kind of checking the bulletin board, but not finding anything.
Right.
I go to the bulletin board as my intuition tells me. And what is there? Los Angeles Unified School District will be in New York City interviewing for teachers. They're especially looking for some teachers who have even a little bit of Spanish, because they have a great influx of students who speak Spanish, and obviously from Spanish-speaking families.
Wow.
And I said, well, I have some high school Spanish. So down I go, and LA Unified went actually all over the world that particular year looking for Spanish-speaking teachers. And they gave me a test. They were in a very posh hotel nearby, Waldorf Astoria. It was elementary Spanish.
Yeah.
And just a terrific spread of a beautiful buffet. And so they gave me this test, and I passed the test.
Very
and based
good.
on that, they said, well, you can come to Los Angeles.
Very good.
Awesome.
Very
So
good.
that's how I
That's how you transitioned.
That's how I transitioned to Los Angeles with a job.
That's amazing.
pretty awesome.
That is amazing.
And that's the best. From pre-K to fifth grade, I think those are the best formative years to teach children.
They are.
I mean, they just suck up everything that you teach, and they're appreciative, right?
And they're very appreciative. And the thing about elementary school is it sets the foundation for everything else. Your reading skills, your writing skills, and particularly the arithmetic, because I find that one reason I believe so many students drop out of Algebra 1 is because they haven't had a real foundation in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th grade arithmetic. And it's so needed today, especially when there's so many job openings in coding, that's really key.
Oh yeah, the STEM thing is really
right.
It's really important. It's interesting because when I was growing up in New York, and I don't know if New York, if this was the whole entire state or if it was just out of Buffalo, but I believe when I was in 2nd grade, I think it was the state, they had a reading program that was implemented into all of the schools. And so they really focused on reading. And so with that program, I developed a love to read. And that is my whole research background is from just how I learned to read. And by the time I was in 4th grade, I was already reading on a high school level. And by the time I was in high school, I was already reading on a college level. And I just had a thirst for books. I just read books all the time. And when after I read every book in the library that they would allow a kid at the age of 12 to read, then my mom had to start buying books for me, and we had to go outside of the library and go in because because of the age requirement, right? So I was reading everything. So in New York, and I'm sure you experienced this and you experienced this, because of the civil rights movement and everything, we were really hands-on to everything, right? And so I went through this time frame very similar to now. And I must have read everything that there was ever to read on slavery because I really wanted to understand about our culture. So, and why, because at that time, and that was in the 60s, I wanted to understand what's happening here, why we are so hated, what the heck? And so in order for me to get that, I had to understand the whole the fundamentals, the foundation of slavery and where we came before that and all that sort of stuff. So, and to this day, it's still there. And I think reading and writing and arithmetic is one of the major foundations. And I don't know. And I remember when I came to LA, I was in 11th grade, and I was in an accelerated program. I was actually in college courses, but for pre-med, because that's what I wanted to do when I was a kid. And I came here when my mom got a divorce and whatever, and fast forward, we're here in Los Angeles, right? So I go into this classroom, a junior class, and it was an English class. And first of all, it was 11th graders reading out loud, and I'm thinking, this is surreal. Why am I in a classroom where 11th graders are reading out loud like they're in elementary school?
Yes.
And even there, they were stumbling over words like and the and it. And I'm going, okay, they made a mistake. So I left class right after break, went straight to my counselor. Okay, you put me in the wrong class. There's a problem here.
Yeah, you spoke up for yourself.
Yeah, and they moved me 4 times. They could not. There was nothing there. And I went to LA High. There was nothing there that could accommodate how I read.
Yes.
So finally they said, I tell you what, we're going to put you in this suspense class. You read what you want. You write what you want. And that was how I finished 11th grade, which was my last. That was the last credit I needed for English anyway. But
well, in Los Angeles Unified, they have many reading programs, but one of the most effective from my point of view was a program called Reading Recovery. It's a very expensive program to do because, one, it involved extensive teacher training, and then secondly, it was one-on-one. And it was so effective because it was graded levels of reading. So you could take a child who, say, did not respond to the phonics approach, which is learning by sounds, but who responded more to a whole book approach, or whole language is what they called it. And we had little booklets, and the children would learn to read them in no time because they used repetitive words. So one booklet might say, be 3 pages, and certain words would be used repeatedly. And it sounds like nothing, but one of the first things you want to do with anybody who's having difficulty in any course is make them more confident.
Right.
Let them know you can do this. Yeah. And so it was a little bit sad when that program went out. But unfortunately, in many public school systems, this is the reality. Mm-hmm. They bring in programs and then programs leave. Mm-hmm. For me, I was fortunate that my parents read. My mother used to read to me all the time. I looked forward to Grimm's fairy tales and Hans Christian Andersen and all of the classical literature. I think in terms of the first book I read about us, about African Americans, that really made a lifelong impression on me was Booker T. Washington's Up From Slavery. I mean, this man built Tuskegee with his bare hands and the hands of students and what he did during his time. So I think for anyone, especially if you have children or grandchildren around middle school age, it's time for them to go to the library and get Up From Slavery by Booker T. Washington. It makes a lifelong impression on perseverance and how even if you get, slapped in the face, slapped upside your head, or somebody kicks you in the rear, you get up. You get up and begin again, and you'll go forward.
That's amazing.
I actually agree. And those books that you read at those ages, they stay with you.
Yes.
Because there's a book I read that was about slavery, and I think I was in high school, and it was called and I think it's For Those Where the Sun Rose, and it was about slavery and the relationships between the plantation owners and the slaves, and it really was had a long lasting effect on me. And I think that was one of the first books I did read, because I think I was in 9th grade, on slavery, and it just kind of opened up the thirst to read as much as I could in those areas. So Harriet was one of the books. It was probably the same thing like the Booker T. Washington series. So you really understood that we did fight back, because prior to that you never got that impression, or what you were learning in school is like we didn't fight back, but yeah, we did. and then we learned and we were educated in those areas. And if you happen to be lucky enough, and I think you and I talked about this earlier about your one of your ancestors, how how he was able to learn how to read.
Well, one of the things that I found myself doing while I was teaching school was writing in my spare time.
Okay.
And this book that I've written, which is unpublished, I am looking for a literary agent, is based on how my grandfather learned to read. I'd say it's for anybody middle grade, high school, even adults. He was born in South Carolina. He was born a slave, and as many white families did, these plantations were huge farms, and so you were separated from your neighbor. They would look among slave children who would fit in with our child, because their children didn't have many playmates. This particular family had an only child. And that was my inspiration for starting my book, which I would, get up sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning and write, sometimes stay up till, midnight, 1 or 2, if the muse was really there and speaking to me, and write. And finally, I finished it, and I am now looking for a literary agent. So that's the way I hope to get my book out to the public.
That's fantastic. Congratulations.
So for those of you who are just tuning in right now, this is the Business Zone, and this is a business radio show, video radio show that we launch every week, and it's from 3 to 4. And you've got Crystal.
Hello.
My co-host. And I, Gilbert Buchanan, the small business paramedic, is here to help small businesses with guidance, coaching, and mentoring. So that's what we do for small business on this channel. Now, our special guest today is Miss Jean Perry over here. That's our special guest, and she is a journalist, and she has done an interview with me, and she's written an article which will be coming out real soon.
Yes.
Will it be on?
It'll be on www.jeanperry.com. Jean Perry, Perry, Writes, WRITES.com. No spaces, Jean Perry Writes.
So www.jeanperrywrites.com. That's where this article is going to be. And she's got many other articles. And she's looking for entrepreneurs like you as well. So she can do an article on you, talk about your business, talk about your story, so your clients and others can know about you as well. Crystal is next on the food chain. She will be the next person who will be interviewed by Miss Jean Perry.
Yes, I look forward to it.
and I as well.
And she'll be telling her story as well. So I just want you small businesses to know, every opportunity you get to market yourself, market your business, your product, your service, you want to take it. If it's multidimensional, then it's going to be that many channels that will get you closer to your goal and your objective, reaching your clients. So that's what we do here on the Business Zone. So I'm going to go back to Miss Perry, and I'm going to ask her, because we met back at USC,
right,
at an event. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to ask you, what brought you to that event that day, and why did you decide to check it out?
Well, again, looking for a literary agent takes time. And while you're sitting there writing, of course, you always think, okay, I'll get an agent, and then that will help me put my book forward. But as time goes on, you realize, look, we only have so long in our life. And so we got to hit the road and get on with it. And I then thought about, I just may have to bring this book out myself. And the program at USC was talking to people with not much experience in business and with experience who were getting ready to do things on their own. And so I went there one Saturday, and you happened to be one of their speakers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you for reaching out to me. Now, Crystal knows quite a bit of people when it comes to writing books, publishing, and all of that. So she knows a few people. And there's this one lady, I think her name is Miss Norma T. Hollis. Right.
Well, Norma is actually a speaker, but
She's
I
a
do
speaker.
know Dr. Rosie Milliken. She actually has a publishing house. Do you know Dr. Rosie?
I know of her.
Yeah, Dr. Rosie has a publishing house. And so you might want to reach out to her. I'll give you her information.
Okay, great.
And then there's another one, Deborah Thorne. She helps individuals get. Now, you published the book, or is it just ready?
It's just ready.
Ready, right. So I'll introduce you to Dr. Milligan to get it published, and then she probably has a slew of resources for literary agents and different ways to market the book as well.
Right. I appreciate
So
that.
that'd be fantastic. But let me ask this question. So journalism, elementary school, and now you're interviewing entrepreneurs. Where did that come from?
Yes. Well, I was told that I would have to establish a platform.
Okay.
And I wasn't very enthusiastic about that at all. I'd rather just stay. I'm somewhat introverted. Just sit there in my living room and write and have all kinds of wonderful diagrams on the walls about my characters and their backstory. And I was told, well, it will take more than that. So a couple of years ago, I established this blog and couldn't really find my way in the blog, but I knew I had to have something out there. And then I think because my father was an entrepreneur and because my character in the book is, although he's presented as a student and although he is enslaved and working to get his freedom, he's somewhat entrepreneurial in that he perseveres and he's a self-starter and he's a self-energizer and a self-motivated person.
Okay.
So it then came to me, why not interview entrepreneurs? And I started that. And that's been really working very well for me.
That's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. So who are some of the, so are they just local entrepreneurs or?
Well, they are. I just interviewed Michael Ferrara.
Michael.
Yes, he does clothing, and of course Gilbert. And I really would like people to go to the site.
Yes.
Jean Perry Writes, and up on the top menu, that ribbon, you'll find interviews.
Okay.
If you click there, you can see all of the entrepreneurs and get their stories and also their contact information.
So really, if small businesses, if you're looking to make connection with other entrepreneurs that Miss Jean Perry has written for, then you could go to her site at jeanperrywrites.com, and at the top, on the top menu,
look for interviews.
And click on interviews, and you'll find a list of all of these entrepreneurs, their contact information, whatever. It's like a gold mine. So you guys want to check it out.
Thank you.
Also, if you guys are interested in being interviewed by Miss Jean Perry, you want to reach out to her. What number can they reach you at?
Well, what they can do is go to the website, and through the website, contact me on Facebook.
Okay.
That would be the best
So go
way.
to the website, contact Miss Perry at on Facebook, and you will be able to make connection. Get your business out there. You want to find a way to promote your business anyway, by any means necessary. I want you guys to try and to generate at least 3 times the revenue that you've been generating now in 2020. Crystal and I, we're here to help you guys. We're here to coach you. We're here to guide you. That's what we do with small businesses.
And I am actually, in addition to all the other hats that I wear, being a co-host here, but I'm the co-director of Recycling Black Dollars. So we have a whole 700 and more entrepreneurs.
Great.
We do a breakfast mixer every second Tuesday of every month. So we're having our holiday breakfast mixer on Tuesday, and we're at Denny's on Crenshaw, right there at Coliseum in Crenshaw. So it's our holiday event. So usually we have a large number. So we have some amazing entrepreneurs that have been. We actually in LA, we have which we're going to be honoring next year. And on the cover of our resource guide, we'll be honoring our legendary legend families that are legacy business owners. So Harold and Barrels and 27th Street Bakery, Bowers Cleaners. They're like, I think 27th Street Bakery, they're 5 generations that have been working in that business. And then Bowers Cleaners, and this is a shout out for Bowers, they actually just got a street named. They're on Central Avenue. So they got their street naming. It was a couple weeks ago. Nice. We all showed up for that. Councilman Kern Price helped make that happen. So there's some amazing entrepreneurs there, which definitely are interview worthy.
Yes.
And I see you've interviewed a billionaire PA, amazing young man, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
Very enthusiastic, very inspirational from a young man who lived in a car, homeless, and what he's built for himself. It's pretty awesome.
Right.
So, but yeah, you could do that, and I'll definitely introduce. Dr. Rosie's story is pretty interesting as well. Besides being, because she's very, they're all about financial literacy, credit repair, but getting your message out there.
Right.
So she's written, probably 10, 15 books herself. Her John Milligan, which is her counterpart, he's written 10, 15 books themselves. And then the number of Black writers that have come through them to have their books published.
Right.
So, and she does, and I want to introduce you because you get the book published. She has it's called Black Writers on Tour. She does it every year in April. I think it's the first week in April. So all of the literary writers are there in Carson, and their books are on display, and you get to talk about your book and all that sort of stuff. So,
I love it. Thank you.
So I think Dr. Rosie would be excellent contact for you.
Okay, that's
get
wonderful.
you moving in the direction.
Yes.
See, and so this must have been another thing on the bulletin board, huh?
Yes.
I think so. Yes.
That seems how God talks to you.
I recently talked to another entrepreneur, and he said the main thing is you have to keep meeting people.
Yes.
You have to keep going out there. You can never have enough contacts, and you just have to put your best foot forward and keep going. You can't stand still.
Well, I know
to
a whole
stand
lot
still
of people.
is to go back.
I know a whole lot of people that I can introduce you to.
I'm on the right show, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Well, we want to thank you for being on the Business Zone, for coming here and sharing your story with us today. This has been amazing. Crystal and I, this is what we do every week. Every Friday from 3 to 4, we're here to help small businesses. We've got lots of nuggets of information. And from time to time, we invite small businesses on the show. So if you have a show, or rather, if you have a business and you want to promote your product, your services, and you want to let people know about it, just come on in, give us a call here. My number is 888-882-1168. That's 888-882-1168. You can give me a call. Say, hey, I want to be on your show. Want to talk to your small business population. I want to get contract opportunities. I want Crystal to hook me up with QuickBooks. All of those things. And
finally, boy.
And Crystal's contact information is?
You can find me on social media. Just put my name in the Google, and the Google will find me for you. But I also want to thank everybody who's watching on Facebook Live, both mine and Gilbert's.
Yes.
If you want to be a show on the Business Zone, you can go to the Business Zone on our Facebook page, and there's a link there, and you can sign up. And we're looking for guests for the rest of this month and kicking off January and February. So let me tell you something, guys. The one thing, and I've been in this business for 30 years and being an entrepreneur for 30 years, the one thing I say for our businesses that we lack the most is marketing and advertising and doing it the right way.
Yes.
People buy from you because they know your story, they like you. So right now it's all the focus of being who you are and helping people realize who you are and meet you on the real you, right? And then they'll be encouraged. But if you're at your shop and as Jean said, you can't be in your living room writing because nobody's coming to knock on the door to buy your book or buy your products. You got to be out there. Yeah. And so you have to make time, and you have to be very effective with networking. So
and you know that like Crystal said, you want to be out there meeting people. You don't want to meeting your representative. Your representative is someone who lives for like 3 months. So that's the person that someone meets for the first 90 days. And then all of a sudden your real personality comes out after 90 days. You don't want the representative meeting your new or potential client. So make sure the real you, they get to know the real you. Okay.
Right. So, and for January 2020, actually for 2020, I am going to be kicking off my E-series, which will be, I have a series coming up, training the trainers, training those who are looking for a sideline gig in accounting and bookkeeping.
Very good.
Very lucrative. Is actually saying, there's some stats out there that it will be the next lucrative sideline gig that one can learn. So that, and I'm going to do a course on networking and how to network efficiently and effectively. And of course, on how to start your business and how to grow your business. And my most important one is how to create multiple streams of income. And I have several workshops that I talk about that. So come 2020, you will be able to find me online as a few live classes, but I'm going to eventually be exclusive online.
And come January 2020, you guys are going to have me live. You're going to have classes, electronic classes on me. And I'm going to teach you how to become contract ready, how to become business ready, how to become bank loan ready. I'm going to teach you how to write and develop your own capability statement so you can network and make greater contacts and make better connections. I'm going to teach you how to write these capability statement. I'm going to teach you how to create it in 30 minutes. 30 minutes. Unbelievable. So you'll be able to do that. If you want to develop a statement of qualifications, we'll do that. We'll teach you how to become certified as a woman-owned business, as a small business, a disadvantaged business, or veteran-owned business. So all of these things are things that we're going to offer you guys electronically on either Facebook Live, or we'll have our own webinar channel. So just want to let you know. So again, we want to thank our special guest.
Thank you, Jean, for being on the show. It's been great, and we look to have you back again once your book has launched and you go on your launch party, your launch tour. And we'll have you back again. Guys, we want to thank you guys for tuning into the Business Zone, and we will be here every Friday. for the duration, but at least for the month of December. And we're looking for guests. So if you want to be a guest, let me know. Hi, Cheryl. I hope that means you're in for wanting to be a guest, or you want to be in one of my classes. That's cool too. You got a class coming up tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow I have a class. It's called Interviewing Techniques. So this class is for, I should say, individuals from the ages of 18 to 24. We're working on a project with LAX at the airport, and we've got to get these small business or these individuals trained how to interview, how to get these jobs. So tomorrow from 8 until 3, we have a class over at the hangar over by LAX, and I'll be teaching those individuals how to interview and also how to write their resumes, those types of things. So it's going to be great. We're going to have a lot of tips. There'll be food. So if you guys want to come by and check it out, there'll be employers over there. And some of these employers, if you're a small business, some of these employers, you might want to network with them because you never know. Opportunities come from a lot of different places. We're going to have the Urban League. We're going to have Yo Watts. We're going to have Lawa. And also myself, Buchanan and Associates, and Joyce Slots, Michael Corinne. It's going to be unbelievable.
Awesome. Well, another show has come to the end. So if you guys want to check out our other shows, go to the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert, our YouTube channel, and you can check out 3 years worth of shows. And then for live, come back next Friday. And we'll see you at 3 o'clock.
I want to thank Ro Ortiz. I want to thank Joe Razan. Thank you, Joe. Happy belated birthday. Andre Williams, my nephew. Grayson and Mohan. I really want to thank you guys for watching this show.
I want to know why Joe Razan watching us on your channel when Joe comes to my breakfast mixer every month. What does up, Joe?
You hear that, Joe? We're getting some jealousy here, Joe.
What's up with that? So we'll see you guys next Friday. Have a great weekend. Be safe. Stay dry.
We're out.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program, and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program, and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.